I'm Ash Minnick, and this is Club Auspex. We've just seen Season 2, Episode 3 of New York by Night, and we have a very special Club Auspex episode as well. They're all special, of course, but today we have Xander Jeanneret by his lonesome.
Oh, no!
Yeah, which means we're just going to talk about you.
Yay!
Amazing! Are you ready
I'm
to
here.
get super in-depth?
Here we go.
Yeah.
This is like inside the actor studio, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've got to ask you really sort of obscure questions and pretend they're very in-depth.
Gotcha.
What color would you be?
Olive green. I was Brawn for a second, sorry.
I noticed that. I
Could you tell?
I'm going to start with that. I feel like that's a thing where you are always in character. You answer rules questions in character. You say the results from your die in character. I don't think you ever speak in third person.
Sometimes it's hard because we are doing an RPG show, and normally when you're sitting at a table, you're describing what your character is doing. But because we get so into it, I like diving into that immersion. Plus, I feel like once I start doing it, it's hard to stop.
I have trouble not doing it.
Right?
I just want to, ask you questions.
Right.
Run.
And it's tough because I feel sometimes that it can be really like bulldozing in a scene, especially if you're against someone like Jason who has to keep track of multiple accents at once, or, even another player character because it's such a brash choice. But everybody's been great so far.
Yeah. Everyone's doing great with the decisions you made to mess them all up.
Yeah.
It's fine. I think that's what we talked about in the last episode you were on.
Yeah.
You did this voice because Jason didn't say no.
Exactly. That's how we get away with everything.
But even beyond the accent, there is something about Brawn that's very complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we saw
layers.
that he's got layers.
Yeah.
But no, we've seen him struggle with control. We've seen him kind of snap at times. We've seen, even though he does kind of come off as this sort of almost a caricature at first, he's got levels.
Thanks for saying almost. It saved my actor ego. It's not. It could be.
That's the front he puts on.
Yeah.
And you had a great moment with Sin's character. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I think when we approach these games, there are overarching themes that we all want to have for these characters because we've put a lot of thought into them. And I know for me as a player, I like to learn what other players' goals are so that I can help facilitate that in some way. And so a good check-in that we do, Sin and I have played in a lot of games, and so we'll often ask each other, hey, what is something about your character that you want to get out that hasn't gotten out yet, and how can I help you do that?
Yeah.
And so one of the things we were talking about was, in the first couple of episodes, I don't know if you noticed, but Brawn had a bit of a problem with authority, or confrontation.
What?
Yeah. And so I honestly did not intend to go in making that choice in the game, but it just kind of happened. And so I thought it would be a cool moment for Coco and Brawn to connect because he could see her having mastered her emotions. That's like this calm exterior and him being like, I should be more like that.
Yeah.
Can you and we managed to work it into a scene. I think it was in the car where we just kind of had an aside and got that out. And I think that's a cool development for both of them.
Yeah, and to be clear, you guys didn't plan that moment or the scene. It was more that you just had a conversation about aspects of your character that aligned.
Yeah. And a lot of the times, if we're at lunch or on break or whatever, when we're talking to each other, that's what we're trying to do because we
never
can't
stop working.
Yeah, I know, we'll never stop working. But we can't control the story. We can't control what happens to these characters, but we do have a little bit of agency with each other, and we can help facilitate the stories that we want to tell.
Yeah, no, I love that. I'm a big fan of knowing everyone's secrets because then you can help bring them out.
Yeah.
Because if it stays in your head the whole time, then it never becomes part of the story.
It's true. Where it's tough, though, is specifically Vampire the game because it's all about trading secrets and stuff.
Yeah.
So there is a level of trust that we have to have that I know so-and-so isn't going to metagame because they know this knowledge, or I'm comfortable giving that for that character. Or it's kind of a juicy tidbit that you can have, do whatever you want with it. I want it to get out.
Yeah. Oh, so fun. So fun.
Yeah.
So many other juicy tidbits. So this pit fight then
Yeah.
was like a really big moment for Brawn.
Yeah.
So what did that mean for Brawn?
Yeah, well, I mean, going a little bit into Braun's backstory that I've developed so far, essentially what he was a weapon that was created. He was sort of sought after by this Nosferatu, his sire Glassjaw, who we've only met inside Braun's head. I don't think we've physically met him in person yet.
And that's when you say inside his head, you mean when he's talking to his beast?
Exactly,
Yeah.
the voice of the beast or the hunger. And I think that there has been sort of this like sword of Damocles hanging over Brawn of having to prove himself of being worthy of given this strength and being the weapon that they need. And there's like all of Clan Nosferatu's resting on this to be worthy for the Camarilla. So he was sort of thrust into this situation. And now he's realizing, oh, I'm not a blunt instrument. I'm a person. And there are choices available to me. What does that mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, was he thrust into that willingly, or was this?
For this one, like, if we play it back, he initiated the first fight because the other person was attacking Kiem, potentially. And so he sees it all as like, I was just defending. It was self-defense the first time. Then it became like a feud. And so really, we talked about it in game 2. The best way for this conflict to be resolved would be in the pit. Because then we have rules, at least. It's not a street brawl where someone could final die, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he sees this all as part of the mission and trying to prove himself from getting that B grade to being responsible for any fuck-ups, as he says.
This fucking guy.
This fucking guy. Yeah.
And then, I mean, it could have gone really poorly.
I was expecting it to go really poorly, honestly.
You got really close to torpor.
Really close. So, like, for each of the blows that we were exchanging, I felt like it was really like neck and neck the whole time. Okay, I what you did there. Yeah.
The 2 bites.
But Brawn really got to the end of his health track and was about to go into torpor, which is why at the end he was very much like, I need the drink. I need to do something. I need a nappy time.
What was going on in Xander's brain during that time?
I thought I was going out. Like, I thought, because how it was so built up, I was like, this is the reigning champion. He never loses. It's stacked against me somehow, like, because it's the Anarchs. And so, yeah, I was just as shocked. And then I had to keep thinking of, like, fighting moves, and I am not much of a fighter.
What?
Xander.
What?
And so Brawn has taken on, like, a wacky fighting style that I can't help.
You don't just go home and like Google boxing moves?
I mean, I should.
That's your homework.
Yeah.
On our dark day. Go.
But it makes it interesting.
So fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that is. I think you mentioned this. I feel like you mentioned it in the last Club Auspex that the challenges are great and make for very interesting stories.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, you know, failing is lovely.
Absolutely.
And so had Brawn gone into torpor, you know.
At least he would have had his coterie there to take care of him, and he had a way out. You know, It wasn't like a death sentence.
No, but then we found out that character was actually trying to kill him in the final death.
Yeah, that's fun.
What do you think's gonna happen with that?
I don't know. Is Lizzie gonna come after him?
I know.
You don't want a Malkavian as an enemy. I know.
Speaking of LA by Night.
Yeah.
What has it been like playing in Nosferatu in comparison to LA by Night's Nosferatu?
Oh, Jasper?
Yes.
Oh, sad boy Jasper.
Sad boy Jasper.
Yeah. Well, I think there are, of course, similar elements. Weirdly enough, and it hasn't had the opportunity too much, but I feel like Jasper threw himself in danger more than Brawn has so far. Brawn is present for the danger, but is not necessarily throwing himself in front of bullets like a certain Nosferatu may.
But in developing your character, did you think at all about that, about trying to make a sort of a different choice there?
Yeah.
Or what did you pull from the clan that we were seeing in Brawn?
Yeah, and I thank you for bringing that up too, because I did want to show the strength side of the Nosferatu clan, because while Jasper leaned into the sneaky, stealthy stuff and was very good at what he did, there is this other aspect of monstrous strength, you know, the deformity coming in the form of muscles or something like that too. And so I really wanted to play with that and what it meant for being a strong Nosferatu. essentially being a super strong kindred that wasn't a Bruja. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or a gangrel.
Or a gangrel, yeah. This typically strength-based characters, but showing that Nosferatu is a strength-based clan. It's all there.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So, Xander.
Yeah.
If just Xander,
Yes.
outside of game, okay?
Yeah.
So, if 2 questions.
Okay.
What clan would you be? And would you be in the Cam or the Anarchs?
Oh!
Or something else. I guess there's other options, but...
Yeah. Oh, no. I run my mouth too much to be in the Cam. I would have to be an Anarch. I would crack one too many jokes and die.
I couldn't stream anymore.
Yeah. That's true. I do have the loyalty towards something like Clan Malkavian or Clan Nosferatu, but that's a rough go of it, huh?
Yeah.
And so being a Toreador might be fun.
Yeah. Oh,
or
I think
Tremere.
you could totally be a Toreador.
Don't come after me.
Well, no, because you could you could be really into role-playing games. That's,
exactly.
That's the art you're into. It's
You
storytelling.
Just created another character for me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Done.
No, got another one rattling around up here.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Xander.
Yeah.
Since it's just you, I guess, is there anything else you want to share? Any secrets?
I'm having a great time. I don't know if it's coming across because I'll sit there in the makeup chair and, I'll talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
Is that Brawn wears a bit of concealer and we had it removed a bit from the sprinkler system.
Oh, yeah, because he's got a lot of...
things he's covering up. The type of thing.
He's got a lot of body shame going on.
Yeah. And since he's new to being a Nosferatu, all of this is new to him as well. He's not as used to dealing with it. So he has a hard time looking in mirrors and seeing what he truly looks like.
Yeah.
There are more things yet to be revealed that he has. But one of the things in this episode was he had taken the wraps off and you saw that it was affecting his wrists and maybe his hands.
Yeah, so every episode we're seeing a little bit more of Brawn.
It's just a striptease, a full season. And
Are we gonna see a little bit more, maybe a little bit more revealed of Brawn in the next episode?
I think so. I think I can say that you will see new body parts.
I don't know that that's the way to phrase it.
I don't think so either.
All right.
But anyway, yeah.
You heard it here first. New body parts in the next episode. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Xander.
Thanks for
This
having
has
me.
been lovely.
Where are we again?
Club Auspex.
Auspex.
Oh, sorry. Is that how Club Auspex?
I don't know. Yeah.
Auspex. Thank you for joining us at Club Auspex.
We saw you coming.